Blake Lively's It Ends With Us lawsuit with Justin Baldoni didn't fall apart because of public opinion. It's unraveling because of what was never actually pleaded. When news broke about Blake Lively's legal clash tied to It Ends With Us and Justin Baldoni, the internet did what it does best: picked sides immediately. At first glance, it felt like another case of celebrity drama collapsing under public pressure. This lawsuit isn't unraveling because people stopped believing in it. It's unraveling because the legal foundation was never fully built in the first place. Instead, the case is weakening for a far more uncomfortable reason. Critical claims were never properly pleaded. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So what actually went wrong? And why does this matter far beyond Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni? Let's pull back the curtain. When It Ends With Us transitioned from page to screen, expectations were sky high. Colleen Hoover's novel had already etched itself into readers' hearts, dealing with trauma, love, and painful realities that felt deeply personal to millions. Blake Lively attached to the project? Instant credibility. Justin Baldoni directing and starring? Even more intrigue. So when legal tensions surfaced, the narrative almost wrote itself. Fans debated whether Blake had too much influence. Others questioned Baldoni's creative control. Some insisted the lawsuit was doomed simply because public sentiment turned messy. Legal cases don't fail because Twitter gets loud. They fail because the paperwork doesn't hold up. And that's where this story quietly takes a sharp turn. So what exactly does "never actually pleaded" even mean? And why should you care? In everyday language, pleading sounds dramatic, like a courtroom speech or emotional testimony. But legally, it's much less glamorous and far more brutal. A pleading is where you formally state your claims. It's not enough to imply wrongdoing. Backhand index pointing right, you must clearly outline what happened, who did what, why it violates the law, and what relief you're seeking. If something isn't pleaded, the court treats it like it doesn't exist. And here's the uncomfortable truth emerging from this case. Key allegations people assumed were part of the lawsuit never actually were. That's not a PR issue. That's a structural problem. It's tempting to blame the crowd. After all, we've seen it before. Courts don't check TikTok comments. Judges don't scroll Instagram. Legal viability has nothing to do with vibes. What matters is whether the complaint meets legal thresholds. If a claim isn't pleaded, the court can't rule on it, even if everyone believes it. That means no matter how loudly fans argue or how emotionally compelling the story feels, the law remains cold, procedural, and unforgiving. One of the biggest mistakes people make when following celebrity lawsuits is confusing assumptions with allegations. In many high-profile cases, lawyers make strategic decisions early on, sometimes betting that public narratives, negotiations, or settlements will resolve things before the courtroom gets brutal. That can work until it doesn't. If early pleadings are too vague, too cautious, or intentionally limited, you risk boxing yourself in later. And that's the trap this lawsuit seems to have stepped into. Once a complaint is filed, you can't magically add missing foundations without consequences. Amendments invite scrutiny. Opposing counsel smells blood. Many people watching this case will quietly recognize something familiar. That contract they never fully read. That agreement based on trust. That assumption everyone just understood. This lawsuit didn't implode because of outrage. It weakened because clarity was missing where it mattered most. Ironically, It Ends With Us may still be unfolding. Legal stories rarely end with a bang. They fade through motions, dismissals, and quiet resolutions. The most dangerous weaknesses are the ones no one notices until it's too late. Did public opinion distract everyone from the real issue? Were expectations allowed to replace legal clarity? Or is this just another example of how emotion blinds us to structure? Share your thoughts below. Join the conversation. Send this to someone who thinks lawsuits fail because of bad PR.